Hello, AP writers. Today I'm going to talk about sourcing, and we're going to learn about a mnemonic device called HAPP-Y. All right. Sourcing is something that we only have to do on the DBQ. It's the only one of the four elements of a normal AP test that where this is an important skill. But it is an important one because per the AP DBQ rubric, it awards a point to an author who explains how or why the document's point of view, purpose, historical situation, and or audience is relevant to an argument. So notice it's an and or. You pick one of these four things for a particular document and explain why it's relevant to how we read that document. Now, to remember these four things that we can look for, we use a mnemonic device, an acronym called HAPP-Y. H is for the historical setting, A for audience, P for purpose, the other P for point of view, and the Y, it reminds us to explain why it matters. It's not enough to simply say, oh, the audience is this or the purpose is that. We have to explain why it matters to how we as historians read the document. This is a huge change in 2020 if you're watching this then. In most years, you have to do this 3 times and only earn 1 point for your trouble. In 2020, with the coronavirus quarantine rubric, you do this for 1 document and earn a point. And then if you do it for a second document, you earn a second point. So essentially, they're offering you 2/3 of the workload for double the reward. So we definitely want to grab these points. All right, we're going to use a quick example, and this is from the 2019 DBQ because the College Board published extensive notes on it. So I'm going to use that one. These are all ones where the College Board itself said, yes, this is worth a point. So the question was a very simple one. Evaluate whether or not the Catholic Church in the 1600s was opposed to new ideas in science. For each of the examples, I'm going to put this up. It'll briefly summarize the document, and then in the quotations, you see the student's reaction. If you want, you could pause each time, pause the video and try to find the historical situation yourself, just sort of give yourself a little test, but I'm going to explain them pretty quickly. So this particular document was from the daughter of Galileo. She was a nun herself, and she referred to some letters that the Pope had secretly written to Galileo supporting his work. So in this case, the student author says that the Pope of the Catholic Church had to be secretive about his support for a scientist. So this recognizes historical situation because this is not the thing you see highlighted. This is not something that was in the document. It's not something that would be part of the document analysis. It's the student historian recognizing the historical situation of the Pope's need to kind of toe the traditional line of the Catholic Church. I wish the student had done more with the why part, but according to the College Board, this is plenty. This is enough. Okay, another example of audience. This is a document written by a school run by French Jesuits that had read through René Descartes' philosophies and found it heretical. So in this case, it's about audience. So the student author says, this critique from a Jesuit college is aimed at those who may want to follow Descartes' thoughts. So that's the audience. Now, why does that matter? Well, it matters because by claiming those who may want to follow Descartes' reasoning are heretics, it further shows their intent to keep people from going away. So there's still the identification of the audience, and there's a very good why does it matter. Great job by the student author. Here's one about purpose. So this is from a Catholic monk, but a Catholic monk who was very liberal and actually writing in support of Copernicus's work. So purpose. Notice in here, he's still hoping for other people to learn about the new theory, and that this is the purpose of writing his book. One thing this student author does that I love is using that actual word purpose. I strongly recommend using those HAPP words because they will jump off the page at the AP reader. They know what they're looking for. When you use that word, they're not going to miss it. And again, so last one here. This is from a Catholic cardinal who very much towed the traditional line, and an example of point of view. So the student author says his point of view, again using the language, is also essential. What is the point of view? Bellarmine was a high-ranking cardinal. And then why does that matter? Thus, again, great job using a transition word showing that we're explaining why it matters. Thus was a reflection of the ideas held by the church hierarchy. So these are some examples. If you want more, you can always email me or talk to me. But again, so you need point of view or purpose or historical situation and or audience. One of those 4 things for a document, and we use HAPP-Y as a mnemonic to remember it. And in 2020, we do it once for 1 point, 2 for 2 points. That's all.